Hello, I'm Dr. Aaron Means. I'm the Payne County Republican Chairman. And as promised, I am here with one of our candidates, Republican candidates, who is running for an office. I'm going to let him introduce himself in just a moment. But what I want to do is to give our voters the opportunity to actually hear from the candidates, along with seeing their yard signs and getting their materials either at the door or in the mail. And so this is open to all candidates, and I do recommend that they reach out to me, because every Republican candidate for every office that's being campaigning inside of Payne County, we want to give this same opportunity. And so with that said, just one more thing. This is not an endorsement of any candidate, but this is simply an opportunity. Now with that said, I want to introduce Mr. Redding. And Mr. Redding, can you actually tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for this opportunity, Aaron. I really do appreciate it. My name is Chris Redding. I'm running for re-election for Payne County Commissioner District 2. I've held that office for 11 and a half years, hoping to get your vote for another 4. We have a lot of exciting things going on right now, and we've done a lot of really good things in the past, and I'll try to touch on a lot of those here today. But we come here hoping to get your vote again based on our experience and our accomplishments. The job of county commissioner is an interesting one, very interesting, in that it has so many different aspects to it. Primarily, we are the board of directors for the county, basically, for the business of the county. We are agents of the state of Oklahoma. We conduct the business of the state for the county. If there's a contract to be signed for the county, it goes through the Board of Commissioners. If there's a lawsuit against the county, it goes through the Board of Commissioners. Any business, any bills, any expenses, it all comes through the Board of Commissioners. So there's a lot of things going on at any given time just with the Commissioner's office. Okay. But there's also a lot of boards and other groups that you get to be involved with that too, and we'll discuss those here in a minute. Okay.
Before we dive in further deep in that, tell me about your family.
Okay. Well, I was born here in Stillwater back in 19 whatever, and I married my college sweetheart. It was actually a friend of my sister in high school, Pam Montemurro Redding. We've been married for 37 years now. We have Garrett, our eldest son, who is 36. He has a beautiful wife and 2 lovely grandchildren for us. We have 4 other children at home, 4 teenagers, which provide for a very lively time all the time. We have 2 boys and 2 girls, 16, 14, 13, and 12. So any of you that have been through that, you know exactly what we're going through and why I have so little hair. We've been long-time Stillwater residents. We love Stillwater, we love Payne County, and that's really why we're still here. All of my siblings are in Texas seeking fame and fortune. We stayed here because we wanted to raise family. We wanted to just be part of a really wonderful community, and so that's why we're here.
Okay. You're the incumbent. How many terms have you had so far?
I had 3 terms.
Okay. But do you have a vision for this upcoming time in the event that you're re-elected, I should say?
Re-elected, yes. Actually, there's a couple of things that are going on right now that I would like to continue to see through. We've got a countywide radio program, which is an amazing thing. 5 years ago, almost 6, Rob Hill, the Emergency Management Director for City of Stillwater, came to me and said, "Hey, we've got this problem. We can't communicate. The fire departments can't communicate with each other. Police departments can't communicate with each other. The sheriff's department, highway patrol, same thing. Nobody can communicate. because everyone has their own system. If we were to come up with a county-wide system where everybody has the same basic radio system and is able to communicate, would you be willing to support that? And I said, well, not only would I be willing to support it, I'd be willing to work for it. Because coming out of the military, we understand the importance of being able to communicate. I mean, in infantry basic, you're drilled into the idea that you shoot, you communicate, you move on out. I mean, that's how important communication is. It's not the first thing you do, but it is the second thing you do. And then you do everything else that you need to do after that. In the fields of law enforcement and fire safety, communication is absolutely necessary to keep everybody safe and to help keep the community safe. And so it didn't take a whole lot of selling because I could see the importance of this. What I didn't realize at the time was how incredibly difficult it was. And as we're talking to the different representatives, Payne County would be the first county in the United States to do something like this, to unify all first responders with a common radio system. When we first thought of it, it was like, well, okay, we come up with this plan and then we're going to do it with the sales tax. But then COVID came and we got this very large chunk of money set in our lap saying, hey, this is for communication infrastructure. Now all of a sudden we have the ability to not only have this dream system, but to pay for it. And so for the last year and a half, getting close to 2 years, we've been working on coming up with the system, doing the intricacies, the numbers, the programs, et cetera, to make this thing happen. And I really would like to see this not only finished as far as like getting it turned on, but also making sure that it continues on into the future.
Okay. Does this have anything to do with your vocation before becoming a commissioner? Any expertise that actually can just kind of go right into implementing this?
Actually, there's a number of different things. First off, in the military, I was an infantryman, then I was a combat engineer. So we had to have a lot of communication, a lot of radio stuff, because we're always out in the field and you don't have telephones out there. But after that, I worked for Nomadics when it was here, working on the FIDO project. But we also did a lot of communication things out there and Bluetooth and innovations like that are now everyday occurrences. But back then it was like, hey, we have this idea, let's see if we can make it work kind of thing. So I got on the technology side of that. When I worked at Mercruiser, after that, I worked in technical writing, which was great experience on how to write technical specs, how to write highly detailed things. But also I was involved with some of the higher level electronic projects. So I got a greater understanding of the engineering behind what's going on. So when it came time for the radio program, I had a pretty good understanding. And I can't do a lot of the stuff, but I do understand a lot of the stuff on how the radio system goes together, how it functions, how these programs interweave with each other so that you can have your radio, I can have my radio, they can have their radio, and when we want to talk, we hit a certain button and it automatically keys in so that we can all three talk together.
Okay. So if I understand this correctly, you're making it so, let's say a sheriff right outside of Ripley can communicate with highway patrolmen.
Correct.
Who can coordinate also with EMT.
Correct. Correct. Okay. And also with Stillwater PD and also with Creek County Sheriff's Department, because we get a lot of people that start the chase in Creek County and come across to Payne County, where they can often lose their tail, because Creek can't come into Payne County very far. But if we have no way to communicate the positions, we can't get our police or our Sheriff's Department there to pick up the chase. Okay.
So you're running to be reelected for Commissioner 2.
Correct.
What's the difference between 2 and say the other two areas, districts?
Everything.
Such as?
Okay, so.
And I know you have to go in detail, but I mean, just so viewers the voters can understand the difference between 1 and 3, which are basically the same, and 2, which you are.
Okay, well, actually, across the state of Oklahoma, most or every county has 3 districts, and pretty much they're fairly similar, and they have roads, bridges, and populations. It's divided by population, so everybody has the same number of people. But in my case, District 2, because of OSU, because of the city of Stillwater being so densely populated, my district is the north half of Stillwater proper. All of my roads and bridges are inside the city limits, so the city takes care of all the roads and bridges.
Okay.
The other two districts basically split the county in half, and they take care of all the roads and bridges in the 2 halves of the county. That leaves me taking care of the administration building, the courthouse, and parts of the jail.
Okay. How much of the funding issue for the county does the commissioners manage or handle?
I'm not sure of your question.
Okay. I'll withdraw the question.
Okay. But I can tell you this, as far as the county is concerned, we're a big enough county. We're the 7th largest county in the state. As far as budgeting and things like that go, we are a budget board county, which is slightly different than most counties. Most counties, the county commissioners will develop the budget, all of the budget, and then their excise board will approve that budget or make any changes that they see necessary based on what the excise board seems as fair. Here, all of the elected officials, all 8 elected officials have a say in the budget. Each one of us puts in our part of the budget, and then we come together in the budget board meeting, and like I'll present my budgets, and everyone will say, oh, that's cool, or oh, wait, that needs to be changed, or that's too much, or whatever. And everybody goes around the table and presents their budget, and then we all approve as a whole the budget.
Okay. And there's a lot of interaction between commissioner, assessor, I'm a correct, and all the other elements of the
Right.
county government.
Correct. And you know, if you think about the county government as a big machine, and each department is its own gear within that machine, we all have to work together. Everything has to mesh, everything has to work. You know, we can't do it without the assessor, we can't do it without the clerk, we can't do it without the treasurer, and just as we can't do it without the commissioners. Each one has their own job, and every job fits together to make this whole thing work.
Okay. It's a team, but the elements somewhat independent.
Oh, actually, each elected official is in charge of their office.
Okay.
So they are autonomous within the bounds of the law.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay. Well, I'm hoping the viewers are getting a lot of information, hearing from the candidate here, so you can make an informed decision. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask one final question. Okay, you have given a lot for us to think about what you do, your past experiences. But I'm wondering, is there something as we prepare to close down that I have not asked you that you would like to bring out and tell the people?
Well, given the amount of time that we have, which is not a lot, I'll keep it short. Basically, when I came on board, I had emergency management as one of my departments. It's an area that I'm familiar with from my years as a Boy Scout, both as a youth and as professional Boy Scout, through my major in college. As high venture risk management was kind of a specialty of mine. Going on through the years, I'm one of the few commissioners that's fully trained, not only at the master's level in the commissioner training from OSU, but also in the FEMA training, all the different ICS or Incident Command System training that's required by the FEMA. And I worked very closely to help with all the training exercises that we had as well. So today is Monday, May 6th. We have tornadoes and storms and stuff heading our way as we speak. And, you know, I'm sitting here thinking, you know, I've got all this training, I've got this experience, I've talked to these people, I know everybody involved. And not to disparage my opponent, but when the times are dangerous, when the times are stormy, do you want someone that's fully trained as a combat engineer in the military, as FEMA, as emergency management, things like this? You want someone like that, or do you want a soccer coach? It comes down to that. To me, the safety and security of the people of Payne County is paramount. You can see that in the projects that I've done. You can see that in the things that I do, and that's what I'm carrying forward.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate you coming, and that concludes it.
Thank you very
So
much.
once again, I'm reaching out to the voters. Every candidate had the opportunity to come. I want to say once again, it's not an endorsement of any one particular, but this is an opportunity. So each candidate can come in and shine, just as Commissioner Redding has done today. Now, thank you for watching it.
Thank you very much.